What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, and today, a game that I remember is Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I am just in the mood to play some Mario sports games. It doesn't even have to be tennis. It could be golf. It could be soccer, baseball. Heck, I even want to play Wii Sports right now. This all sounds fun because I want to have some fun in the sun, and specifically in the sun that doesn't involve the actual sun, because it was a high of 105 degrees today, and I would rather die than ever experience that again. I don't know how you people who experience those weather patterns regularly deal with that. It was hell. I am inside, I have water, I have the AC, and I have this, and I would rather just continue from there than ever go outside again. But yeah, we're looking at Mario Tennis today, and this game is incredibly important to me, actually, because it was one of my very first experiences with video games in general. The Nintendo 64, I've said many times, was the very first home console that I ever owned, but I was not a particularly affluent kid. I didn't get my hands on Nintendo systems until many years after they were relevant. The 64, for instance, I didn't even own until about 2000, a couple years before the GameCube came out, and I believe the same year that this game came out. So I had this game, I want to say Wave Race and Star Fox 64, because they were both heavily discounted by that point in time, being launch or very early 64 titles. And then I had some shovelware games. And that was all I had on the 64 for a little while. I eventually got around to getting games like Banjo-Tooie, Paper Mario, and other ones that I've covered on the channel. But those were my first. And Mario Tennis is kind of important to me in that regard. I did play it quite a bit. Enough so that I think I completed a singles tournament on every single character in the game. Not quite doubles, but I did play it a lot. But I'm also not about to tell you that I'm some expert at this game and a god-tier player or anything. I just have fond memories of it, and I actually haven't really played it all that much recently. In fact, you'll see how much I've played it exactly because we are playing the Switch Online version today as opposed to the native N64 version. And I think I've completed it on like 4 characters, maybe 5? I don't know, but that's ever since this got put on the Switch Online service, so who's to say? Now let's talk about the developer of this game really quickly. Camelot Software, is it Planning? I think that's what it is. Camelot got their start as the Shining Force guys for Sega consoles way back in the early 90s. Made a bunch of those games for a while, and eventually they got contracted out by Sony to make a game called Everybody's Golf. Now, that's a series that still exists to this day. But Everybody's Golf was kind of a big hit. It was a mainstay on the PlayStation. It was the de facto golf game on that system. And Nintendo saw that and said, hey, you guys want to make a golf game with our characters? And so they would then go on to make Mario Golf. And Camelot said, hey, we'll do you one better. Let's also make a tennis game, which came another year later. Camelot has been developing both series concurrently pretty much ever since that day, all the way up to and including the most recent releases, Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf, is it Super Rush, I think is what it is? Yeah. So still working on those to this day, but that's pretty much all they make anymore. I'm pretty sure Shining Force isn't really a thing. And I'm pretty sure somebody else works on the Everybody's Golf series now. But again, I don't think that game's had a release all that recently. So, yeah, they're pretty prolific, these guys. Now, as for what we're going to be doing today, I'm just going to basically be going over Mario Tennis as much as I can in its entirety. But I'm not going to be showing all the unlockables or anything. There are a lot of codes you can put in to unlock certain courts and whatnot if you want to add them to the game. There's also special modes, particularly this right here, which is Ring Tournament. You can get specific objectives, and you're supposed to try to get like a high score, which a lot of these codes were associated with magazines at the time, like Game Informer and IGN, and they're basically a contest. And so you would put in the code, you would try to compete in the Ring Tournament, and then you would literally take a picture and post your score online, and whoever had the highest score and could prove that they had the highest score could get prizes and things of that nature. But then they also had ones that Nintendo hosted themselves and whatnot. So that's what that is. I just wanted to touch upon that really quickly. But we're just going to jump on into the main thing. Okay, every character that has a sparkle over them, I have completed. Wow, I have not with Yoshi. That is surprising. Yeah, I've completed a round of the tournament mode, which we're going to actually do today. Paratrooper's my boy. Always has been my boy. My favorite. I don't even have frickin' Donkey Kong Jr. unlocked. That's sad. But Yoshi was always my number 2. So I think I'm going to... Well, I don't know. I kind of want to go with Boo, honestly, because I do like the tricky characters. But I always like Paratrooper more because he just felt like he had a little bit more reach and mobility than Boo did. Screw it, let's go with Yoshi. Why not? Let's just do it. All right, we're going to do a tournament. We'll do a full singles tournament. Now, this just is going to go through Mushroom Flower and Star Cup. There is no special cup. The The bracket is completely randomized who you're going to play, and then we get into the mechanics. Okay, so let's talk about serving first. So serving in this game is pretty simple. You're just going to want to hit the ball when it hits a certain point in your arc. Now, my piece of advice is that when you're throwing the ball up, you want to hit the ball as it's going up, not as it's hanging in the air or coming down. Because if you do that, that is when you're going to get the best speed possible. Now, I am not a consistent, nice serve getter, but I will be trying my best. Okay, I got one right there. It is much easier to do, I find, on the smash shot than it is on topspin or on the slice. But if you can get the rhythm down and you start to slowly figure out the cadence, you can pull those off pretty consistently, like so. The other thing about nice serves is even if the opponent does return them, it usually means that they have to return it in an awkward way, which it allows you to usually set up for like a big hit that's going to be very hard for them to return in kind. All right, I'm going to actually change this before I do anything else. This is always defaulted to stationary cam. I always switch to player cam unless I'm playing actual people because it's ridiculous to... I mean, why would you never be in the back if you can help it? Or not always be in the back if you can help it? It's just so much easier to be closer towards the camera, especially because I have like bad depth perception issues, so I like to be able to actually see what I'm doing. All right, let's talk about the different shot types, right, as we're about to finish our first game. So that yellow trail I'm doing right there, that is a topspin, okay? That is one of the most standard hits you can do. It's by hitting the ball with A, very simply. To get the trail, though, you need to be charging your shot, otherwise it won't happen that way. If you just hit it regularly, it's just going to be a very... kind of, well, basically what Boo did right there. So that was a standard A shot right there that I just did. But if you get the trail, that's a full topspin shot. Topspin is very useful because it does have a pretty good velocity to it, but it drops quickly, which can be very, very nice because there a lot of the time, if you're hitting the ball too hard, you will get yourself in situations where you're going to get an out, and outs are not good. You don't want to hit the ball so far that it clears the whole court, so a topspin is nice for that if you are in position to get a very hard return. Wow, that was bad. A very hard return, but also you don't want to get an out. Okay, then we have the blue trail, which Boo is doing right now, and I'll do one for myself as well. That is a slice. Now, slices will hang in the air more. They also have a lower velocity to them, but because they hang in the air more, they can be a little bit harder to predict exactly where they're going to go. They'll also curve a little bit, although that doesn't really make too much of a difference. You just got to be not faked out by that. You just got to be used to the way that they sort of slide into place as they're going. But that's what a slice is. Very simple. Wow, he is always serving full to the side, isn't he? My goodness, well, except that one. So slices can be nice. I don't use them as often as I do the other two shot types, or the other two main shot types, which are smash and topspin. We'll get into smash next, which is what I always use I try to always use when I serve, because it has the most velocity behind it. Now, that is A and B at the same time, and you can see Luigi just did it there on the charge. It is by far wow, that was dumb. By far the hardest hit that you're ever going to get in any given situation. So if you're trying to get a hard return or there's like a lob coming your way, a smash is a great setup because then you're going to be sending that ball the fastest. It can be a little hard to do, though, because sometimes you'll feel like you'll hit both buttons and it just won't register them both at the same time. So that can be a little weird, but yeah. Smash is just a very hard hit. The only problem with Smash is that in a situation where topspin might be useful, it is very easy to get an out with Smash as well, because you're just sending the ball so far that can cause you some issues at times. But it's never not the correct option on a serve. I will say that. There's also two other shot types, so really quickly, I'll see if I can show one there. So charging with A and then hitting with B, like I'm doing right now, that is that is called a lob shot, okay? So if you ever want to hit the ball high for whatever reason, that is how you're going to do that. Generally, in a match, that is a bad thing, and you don't want to do that. In fact, that's usually a punishment for hitting a ball late, is that you'll get a lob automatically, kind of like I do sometimes off of Luigi's serves. But there are certain game modes, like the ring game mode, where you're trying to hit the ball in precise spots where a lob is important to know how to do. Then we have the drop shot, which is literally the exact opposite input. So I'll see if I can show this on the return. So you charge with B, and then you hit it with A, but it can be kind of hard to clear the net that way. So you need to make sure that you actually get a good hit on it, otherwise you're going to get a net. This, of course, causes the ball to not bounce as much, which can be nice in certain situations, especially if the opponent is playing really far back. That means they have to come up to make a play on the ball, like so. And then it can also cause things in situations like that, where they're going to then return it right into the net because the ball's too low. So Drop shots can have their uses. I generally don't ever use them, but they are a little bit more situationally useful, I would say, than lob shots, which you only want when you're actually actually trying to get precision. My goodness, I couldn't even put that sentence together, no matter how hard I tried. That was bad. But yeah, so Mushroom Cup is pretty much a pushover. I'm not about to say that there's any challenge to this at all. I mean, it can get a little rough. Okay, so there's me making a bad play on the ball right there. I had to play really far back just to try to get that. Yeah, Mushroom Cup's pretty easy. The final is like the only one where you're going to see any pushback remotely at all. But you can rally for maybe like 2 to 3 hits and you're going to win pretty much every single time. Flower Cup is pretty darn easy too. The final game can get a little dicey, but it's still not that hard. It's Star Cup where things are going to get a lot more tricky. But I am glad that I am playing a speed character because then I can actually make plays pretty quickly. But we're going to go through all 3 cups here and try to get it all done with just Yoshi. So there we go. We get a little celebration screen at the very end as well, which I'm pretty sure in this game they were always fairly generic. Like you see your character celebrating up on like a pedestal and that's it. Oh, Yoshi eats the trophy. Okay, never mind. They are more, that's right, they are more special scenes than I thought. I cannot believe you turned it into a golden egg. Maybe it's just because I play Paratroopa all the time and he had a very generic scene, because I think he was just like surrounded by Koopas or something and then they just kind of celebrated together and that was it. But all right, Flower Cup is played on the clay court. Now, clay court is going to have a lot less bounce to it, which is something you're going to have to account for a lot. This actually makes drop shots really effective if you know how to hit those consistently, and I will try to do that there. Oh, there we go. Almost had it. Oh, see, and then he got me with the low bounce because I fell for my own trick, basically. So the way I generally, and see, that was dumb right there, but the way I generally like to play is I actually like to go really far back and then just try to basically bait the opponents into coming up close, which is really easy to do because once you do that and you get them up on the net, it's so easy to just sail a topspin over their head. So just going to send one over there, and he won't even be able to make a play on that. See, as long as you're like paying attention to where you're sending the ball on every single return, they usually can't make a play on that. Why am I charging that up with a slice? Oh, well, it worked. Yeah, like I said, it's still not hard. Flower Cup is still pretty easy. Now, the way that all the tournaments work is the same way that Mushroom Cup worked, where it is a set of 1 for the first 2 rounds, and then the final is best out of 3. You can play up to a best of 5, I believe, and there is also in single player or standard match, there is also an option to play instead of first to 2 wins to win a set, it's first to 6 wins, which is more like how a standard professional tennis match goes. All right, there we go. Got up really close and was able to fling that the other way. All right, baby Mario. Let's see if I can't. There we go. Now, I will say I'm bad at returning serves. Like, that's by far my worst skill with this game. So if you see me get service ace quite a bit, that's going to happen. I'm just terrible at it because I'm very bad at preempting the opponents because they're kind of random. Like, with the thing is like, it's really hard to, like, strongly influence a serve without moving. Like, so if I really wanted to send it all the way over, look how Waluigi's playing it. If I wanted to really send it in that direction very consistently, I kind of have to go over there. But for whatever reason, CPU opponents just don't have to. They can just kind of serve from wherever they want and send it like really far and influence it very easily, which I really struggle to play on. But human opponents, it's much more easy to telegraph that way. So, oh, come on. There we go. And then over his head. Oh, come on. Oh, he dropped that on me. Beautiful. Beautiful play on Waluigi's part. Wonderful, wonderful play. Too bad he got absolutely owned on that top spin right there. So now let's talk about character archetypes. I'm playing as a speed character, so I've got the most movement around the court, which is really, really nice. You have a couple tricky character types, which honestly, I've never really understood the difference with those. They kind of always just served as like, yeah, they sort of hit the ball harder than the speed types, but not harder than the technique types, if that makes sense. They were almost just kind of like another middle ground, if that makes sense. That's all I really ever saw Tricky as. I guess their movement is a little bit unorthodox, given that Paratroopa flies and Boo just floats. So maybe that's slightly different. But other than that, they're just kind of the in-between of speed and technique for me. But they're also like my favorite archetype, so what am I even saying? Wow, that was bad. So then we have technique. Technique is what most of the characters are. Like Waluigi, for instance, is a technique. Mario is, Peach is, Daisy is, Luigi is. You get it. I think Shy Guy is a technique as well. A lot of technique characters. They're just very balanced, middle of the road. Middle speed, middle ability to get to the ball, all that. And then you have the power characters, which entails Bowser, Wario, Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong Jr. is also in that class as well. But they are, well, all about hitting the ball very hard, but they can't move very easily. So you have to be very smart with your positioning on those, but it is very easy to get the ball past your opponents when using those power characters, as long as you are positioned correctly, if that makes sense. So power characters were never my forte, but some people are really, really good with them, so I'm not going to disparage them either way. There is not a lot, like a particular class I don't like. I think they all have their own strong suits. It's just that I tended to play the speedy and tricky characters the most. I think the only technique character I liked playing as was Shy Guy, to be honest. And I don't know why that is. I think it's something to do with just the animation or the speed or something like that. I don't know. Very strange. But oh, come on. I thought I got up on that in time. Okay, so let's talk about charging shots. So you've noticed that as I come up, I'm getting these like sparks around my character as I run up. That is me charging a shot. That's so I can get the trail every single time to get the maximum velocity, which you can see Peach is doing it a lot too. Very, very useful, and also just the most efficient way to get your shots off. Oh, gosh dang it. Also, yeah, don't play up on the net like that too much if you're not wanting to get the ball to sail right over your head. But charging is important, but the problem with charging is that once you start a charge, it makes your movement incredibly limited. So you want to be like right up on the ball when you start the charge, or at least exactly in its path. Otherwise, you're going to have egg on your face by the end of it, and that's never fun. There is a way, however, to actually cancel a charge, and I will show it. I'll try to show it here in a second. If I can get into position. So like, let me charge up here and then cancel and then run up on it. Yeah, so Z right there is how you cancel it. You can actually regain your mobility, but it can be really hard to recover still. It's just like, if you start a charge, you know you're not going to get there in time. The best you can do is cancel the charge and hope that you can still make it. Oh my gosh, I thought for sure she got me there. Beautiful. All right, first set is mine. And let's keep this up. So yeah, like I said, flower court, it's not cup's not too bad. I don't like the clay court though. It's always very annoying for me to play on. I actually prefer the court we're going to go on for the Star Cup, even if Star Cup is significantly harder, because generally it's going to be a lot harder to slide the ball past them, like I'm doing so far with Peach and Baby Mario and all those other characters right now. On Star Cup, they're pretty good at like this right now. They're on top of it. Like that would not have gotten by a Star Cup opponent there, but it's really more of an endurance test with Star Cup, because you kind of just have to rally for a while and eventually they're just going to screw it up. That's really how it works. So you can go like 5 or 6 returns, and by the end of that, you'll be like, yep, yeah, that was a freebie pretty much, unless you're hitting it like directly to them. Now, one of the tricks about getting a rally going is you don't always want to hit it back in the same direction that's most obvious. I golfed that. Oops. So like, for instance, I'm going to hit it back towards Peach, and she's going to miss that because she's not very good. I'll see if I can try to show this with an actual rally. So I'm going to hit it back towards Peach. Oh my gosh, girl, you suck. Never mind then. Maybe I'll have to show this on Star Cup, because I'll actually have better opponents. Okay, there we go. So you notice how I'm just kind of like alternating where I send it, which I keep having to golf that because the bounce is so low. You don't want to do that every single time. Alternating it is definitely a rhythm you can get into, but it is not ideal most of the time. What you want to do is you really want to mix things up some more if you can help it, and eventually that will just screw them up. So sometimes it's good to just send it back to the same spot over and over and over again until eventually you get the win. But all right, hey, speaking of wins, we got that one. Not bad. I will take it. Yoshi, you're going to eat this one too. Did you not learn your lesson? Apparently not. I also love the just blurred like texture as the crowd. We really were okay with that back in the day. It really didn't bother us at all. We're like, yeah, that's a crowd. We see that. I guess enough years of playing with Legos that just had stickers on them kind of conditioned us all to think that way. But all right, Star Cup time. Now it's serious business, so let's do this thing. Now we're playing on the grass court, which is kind of a big deal. And I gotta stop going up on the net. I don't know why I think I can play cute like that. Does not work that way really at all. And I know Wario's serves are going to get nasty in here, so I got to be careful. But there we go. Try to send it all the way that way. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more precise on this difficulty. and actually hitting those corners. So I will do the best that I can here. Ooh, I got him for sure. Yeah, he did not move in time. You can kind of tell that there's like a little bit of a delay on their movement, and they just end up flubbing the entire thing. Okay, of course, the one time I decided to go for a slice, which I never do, it ends up netting. Great. Now the other way. Oh, he got it. Smash, perfect. That's what I'm talking about right there. Okay, got a nice. Yeah, the other thing is, while you're charging, it's very easy to accidentally slide out of position. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. Like, don't be moving towards the ball too fast while you start the charge, or you might just slide past it, which can be very annoying. That's going to be a big hit. No, stop lobbing it. Okay, I'm glad he didn't get the smash on that one. Now I can start to move up a little bit, but not too much. All right, that turned into a lob, so let's back up. Perfect. Just keep rallying. Eventually, we're going to get this. And he is just... Oh, see, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you don't want to start sliding while you charge. Otherwise, you're done for. And see, I reacted too late and wasn't able to cancel my charge in time. Okay. Oh, gosh, dang it. I just recovered badly on that one. Come on. I really need to get my act together here. I struggle on the... when the opponent's on their serve round, like, really badly. There we go. Now the other way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the only time that you can get cute with the net and getting right up on it is when they start to like really let up on the power of their hits. Which I am not about to lose a game here, am I? I might though. Gosh, I need to get it together, man. Come on. There we go. There's a good one. All right, big one. Oh no, I said big one. Yes. Okay, good. Holy crap. Maybe I can actually make a comeback here. Let's see. Oh, not with that, though. That is not a good way to do it. Gosh, dang it. I'm blowing it. Okay, well, at least it's my serve this time, so I am in more control when I start that way. There we go. Actually got him on a slice. Not bad. Okay, now let's slide over here. Okay, I would love to get a service ace of my own, but I don't think I've gotten one. But if I can hit that at the right time every time, which I did not there. He was ready for me there. Perfect. Yes! Awesome. Sword right into the corner. Okay. Perfect. And into the net. 2-1. Oh, man, this is longer than I remember. Oh, I wonder if do I have to win, like, more convincingly? I might have to. Also, losing on a service ace right there is not a good way to start. That's going to be... I thought that was going to be brutal, but it was not. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, come on. That is not a good one to be behind on. Gosh dang it. I really need to get... The problem with the speed characters, man, they just do not hit the ball hard enough. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the movement, but sometimes you really need to be able to, like, zip the ball in there, which I definitely felt like I always got more with tricky characters. Kind of have to wait for him to, like, blow it and hit a lob my way if I really want to make sure that happens for me. Okay, no. See, and then if you recover late, it's a lob every time. Especially with these smashes here. There we go. Okay, that's good. I'm kind of recovering here. I can't get these smash hits perfectly, though. There we go. Holy crap, that was a long rally. I know I'm not, like, heeding my own advice at times, which is a problem. Come on. Let's make a comeback here. Let's make a comeback. I need to stop returning with those top spins. There we go. There we go. All right, we're into deuce. So now it's whoever can get the two. Wow, that was a bad start. Dude, I'm so bad at returning serves. It's ridiculous. Immediately on the back foot now. Come on. I can do this. Just got to hold the line, stay clutch. There we go. That was like a perfect smash opportunity. I know some people like to go right up on the star to get the return. I generally like to wait for the first bounce. Dude, I am so bad at that right now. I couldn't even see that tennis ball on that one as it was flying my way until it was too late. Come on. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Back to deuce. I'm fighting for it. I'm really fighting for it. I don't want him to win this game. Okay, good. There we go. Now we have the advantage. All right. If I can win this, I win the whole thing. Good, 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 good. Yes, we got it. All right. Held the line and eventually clutched it out. Wow, that was just the first round, too. Holy crap. All right, well, we're up against Luigi next. We'll either play DK Jr. or Waluigi in the final. All right, Waluigi, what do you got for me, technique boy? He said at the beginning that he's not scared, so let's see how not scared he is. I love Luigi's got like one of the funniest like voice lines ever in this game that always just cracked me up as a kid. Actually, it's not a voice line. It's just the way he like reacts when he loses. I always thought was hilarious. Was Charles Martinet doing Luigi by this point? I mean, I know he was doing Mario, but did they have someone else for Luigi? Because it does sound different. I don't know actually. Yeah, I think it was a different voice actor at this period of time. Wow, you like to go up really close on the net, don't you, Luigi? My goodness. Oh yeah, his little spinny he does out of Celebration. I always thought that was goofy too. Other way. Oh my gosh. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. He's fighting me. No! Oh man, Luigi's killer right now. He is killer. Come on. I need to get this past him. That's going to be a big one. Come on. Over him. There we go. Thank goodness. Yeah, I just need to stick to the top spins. Ay, he is fighting me. I thought I actually had him there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That was a hit. And I slid out of the way again. See, I do that all the time. I'm not really good at like preempting the exact direction of where it's going to go. That almost was an out. That was ridiculously close. There we go. Yeah, keep coming up on the net, and then maybe I can like find a way to just beat that every time. Oh, I couldn't get to it in time. What the heck? Come on, Yoshi. You're better than that. You're a speedy boy. I believe in you. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know how he reached that. Luigi and his long frickin' arms, man. I swear. Oh, that's not good. Dude, I can't get to it. He's so good at that. He's so good at playing up on the net like that. That is ridiculous. Get out of here. Okay. Trying to get these like nice serves, but that's the thing about the nice serves. It's like they're really not required because the thing about the serve is it just has everything to do with your speed, the speed of your hit. And if it's a nice, that's the absolute top speed you could have gotten in that situation. But you can get serves that are only like a mile per hour or two less, so it's not really that big of a deal. All right, I need to win by 2 games, so I have to win this set right here. If I don't, we go into a tiebreaker. And tiebreakers, I believe, are first to 7, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's first. It's first to, if you get to 6, then you're at game point. But if you tie, it goes into the deuce rules, if I'm not mistaken. So, there we go. I'll stop playing up on the net like that, you turd. There we go. There we go. My gosh, that is so stressful when he starts doing that crap. Okay, I have this thing. Unless I am the most unclutch person ever, I have this thing. Oh, but I can't ever get to those when he hits them like that. Man, that is ridiculous. Come on. Let's not be the most unclutch of all time. Oh, you suck. You suck, Luigi. How are you so good up on the net like that? It's ridiculous. There we go. Holy crap. Finally got a perfect return. His cry, it makes me laugh every time. It's so funny. It's just the most despair I've ever heard. Oh, we're playing Waluigi in the final, huh? So yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but Waluigi was newly added to the Mario universe with this game. This was his first ever appearance. Of course, by the time that I got around to playing this game and like playing it a lot, he was kind of already a known quantity. I was always like, this guy's weird, but you know, it's Waluigi. We all love him, even if he is just kind of a dumpy character with very strange features. Oh, wow, that was a good fake out right there. I didn't even mean to do it like that, but it worked out for me. He can't catch up to those. That's great. I love it. I thought his arms would be even longer than Luigi's, but it's not working out for him so far. Okay. In it for the long haul here. Oh my gosh, dude, how does he reach that and then also angle it that way? What was with the glowing eyes there? Did you see, anyone else see that? I have never, wow. I have never seen that before. It's scary. It happened again. Maybe, did that happen in the last game against him? I don't remember that at all. That's crazy to me. Okay. Really got to play this well. Oh my gosh. There we go. Over him. Oh my, dude, you gotta stop. Thank you. Holy crap, barely got over him. Glad he wasn't in lefty mode there. He would have definitely reached that. Okay. Starting to figure out his pattern a little bit. There we go. That was the one. Eventually, I just kind of had to like set it up so that he was in a certain position before I just launched it over him. There we go. When those like easy to hit lob shots come up and you're ready for the charge, there's no way they can recover on those, like, ever. Or when they're just really slow to get to the middle like that, like he was. Which, I mean, that's been working out great for me so far. Look at that. I'm getting like return aces constantly. My gosh, dude, Waluigi, get it together. You're embarrassing yourself right now. Dude, he can't do it. He just can't move in time. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'm like surprised because I thought on Star Cup they didn't see, and then that's what I get for even talking for a second. Yeah, I just thought on Star Cup they never had problems with those, but apparently every single time I'm able to just consistently knock him out. I mean, I know this game does get speedrun, so I can't like say anything to how like people do this normally or like what their usual tactic is. But I'm sure there's got to be something consistent here. We're winning so far. I believe this is championship point right here. Yep. Okay, for all the marbles. Over him. There we go, and that's it. I'll take it. Okay. Honestly, out of all the games in Star Cup, that last final was the easiest one, and I don't know why. But we'll take it. All right, so the reward for winning in championship mode, you don't just get the sparkly thing over your character, but you also get the ability to star the character as you pick them, which will actually give them buffed stats when you use them. So it'll make them faster, them hit harder, all those sorts of things than they normally do. Now, it doesn't make them like some super god tier character or anything either, but it is just a straight buff. It's basically your reward is saying, yeah, you've already beaten it with this. You've proved to the game that you have beaten it with the character before. Now you can just have an easier time of it. Although, this does also apply even to the mode that you haven't done. So, like, for instance, I just did this with singles. If I wanted to use Star Yoshi in doubles, I absolutely could. Or I could go lefty. I mean, lefty is not a buff. That's just something that you can use for tactical reasons if you like, or if you just like it for personal reasons. I never go with lefty, but I mean, it is an option. But yeah, Star is a straight up buff if you ever want to do it. So let's talk about the two unlockables really quickly. Shy Guy is gotten just by straight up winning in singles all the way through. So like if I did not have Shy Guy already, what I just did right there would have unlocked Shy Guy for me. If I do the same thing, but in doubles, that's how I get DK Jr. Very simple. All right, let's play. I'm going to go with my boy for this one. Let's play like... Oh, do I want to do the Bowser stage? Okay, I'm going to show off the Piranha Challenge and Ring Shot really quickly. Let's do the hard court for the Piranha Challenge. This is very simple. So what's going to happen is you're just going to have 50 balls shot your way by the Piranha Plants. You're trying to return them, but also in a way where the opponent does not actually hit them. So you're just trying to get away from them. But it's 50 balls. It's more of bragging rights than anything. You're just going to try to get the highest possible score that you can, just by returning the ball every single time. And the opponent that you're up against is usually not that great. Now, you can't return the one that your opponent hits. You can only return the ball that the piranhas shoot at you, so they can sometimes be there to, like, fake you out. So, like, if I wanted... Like, right there, I did just get faked out by Bowser's smash return. But, you really don't want to be hitting it directly at your opponent, which is what I keep doing. This is actually a very bad performance. I'd say if you get less than 30 total in this, then it's a bad performance. Even 30 is pushing it. You should be able to very consistently return it a lot more often than that successfully in a way where you're actually able to control where it goes. But this is, again, this is more just bragging rights. You don't really get anything for doing this a certain way. It's just sort of like, hey, look how good I am at this. And then I think your record gets stored somewhere, but that's about it. But yeah, I just wanted to show this off really quick. This is a very simple one to show off. I mean, we're literally already almost done with it, and I am just blowing it right now. Can't get him past Bowser, man. He's too good. He's too good for a easy level CPU. Look at that. He's hitting them all. He's also because he's big. And it's totally random who your helper is, too, or your helper, your opponent. And, I mean, Bowser is like, I got pretty unlucky getting him at the beginning, if I'm being honest. This was not a super good performance on my part. I definitely could have done better. And I keep sliding away, too. 32 out of 50. Not ideal, but whatever. So, yeah, you can just kind of play that if you want. That's just sort of a game mode to just enjoy, I suppose. It's not really all that interesting or anything. What is interesting, though, is Bowser Stage and Ring Shot. So, Ring Shot, really quickly, there are 4 different types of Ring Shot. You can see here that they each have a cadence to them. So, you're supposed to get a certain threshold on all 5 flags for all 5 types. Now, let's start with game. So clear the set number of rings before the game ends. Very simple. All you need to do is hit them through the rings before the timer is up. This includes rallying with your opponent, though. So I'll show this off really quickly. So what we want to do is I want to actually serve it through the rings and actually send it to Toad and keep that rally going without us messing up. So I'm trying to hit it to Toad each time, and I'm not trying to fake him out. Otherwise, we lose this, and that would be bad. So if you just want to do gentle hits, you can just do that too. Just make sure that he is, or you could blow it yourself and then just lose immediately. Okay, there we go. So we're just trying to get to 30. Come on. Oh, okay, there we go. Gosh dang it. I need to get more. I need to get more. Come on. No, Toad. See, that's the thing is if I get all the way, and I do not have nearly enough rings here, especially because I blew it, so Toad got all the points for those rings on that one. But if I get all the way here to gain point and then win this, and I don't have 30 rings by that point, it's all over. So I'm trying to hit it to Toad for this one. I'm going to try to get a big jackpot here. There we go. There's a big one. We got 10. And if you get a ring up high, that is going to be your opportunity to use the lob shot, by the way. That is by far the most important use of the lob shot in this game. Here we go. There we go. Let's keep it left so I can get it through more rings. Okay, this is looking good. I might be able to actually pull this off. 27. Does that get me all the way up? Yeah, 38. Okay, and that's a victory. So that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to just keep it rallying and rallying and rallying and eventually get enough points that you can then progress. So then we have time. Here's that number of rings before time runs out. That one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to show that. You just have to get like 30 in a minute, and then it's going to go up. But also the time, I believe, is going to increase as well. Continue a rally to clear the set number of rings. So this one, you have to get that many rings in one rally without blowing it, which we basically did in that last game with Toad and I. And then we have points. So clear the rings for points within the time limit. Now, on this one, rings are worth a set number of points depending on how small they are or depending on where you hit them. So they actually have values to them. This is how the ring tournament challenge behaves as well. So it's all about what rings you go through in a specific instance. But it's not just the number of rings. It's about maximizing your actual score count as you go through. And you're kind of working together with your opponent when you do this. So it can be a little bit tricky, but honestly, I feel like this game mode doesn't have a ton of depth to it. I mean, they tried to give it like, oh man, you got 4 different challenges that you have to go through, and they can get pretty hard too. But they're not like super exciting or anything. They're just kind of there. So Ring Shot exists. It's sort of a little bit of a time waster. The most interesting has to be Bowser Stage. Let's talk Bowser Stage. Okay, I'm going to do just a single set of this because this is kind of a long one, and I'm going to play Daisy. She was pretty underutilized at this point in time too. So on this one, we're going to be on a tipsy-turvy stage that sort of moves around, and we're hitting the ball through item boxes to get items, which have different effects. Now, I can use the shells to attack Daisy if I want to. She is shooting red shells at me, but you're trying to win this game. The problem is that if you get hit by a shell you get hit by a shell as the ball's coming at you, you will be delayed for a second and won't actually be able to do any damage. So there we go. It's just winning a standard game of tennis while items are involved, but it's really silly, and I love it. Now, the banana gets placed wherever it hits the ground, which is where my bounce rule kind of does not come in handy. So I'm going to need to be careful of that. Oh, see, they always get it in the air when I do that. Gosh dang it. Sliding into place. Now, one thing I like to do is shoot the shell. Right. I usually like to shoot the shell like right as the ball is like coming towards them to like really throw them off if I can. But that's not the easiest thing to do. It can delay them pretty well. but it still can be quite tricky. But again, you're still just kind of winning a basic game of tennis. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, not the perfect smash, but it works. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then right as I send it back, I'm going to hit her, and then it's going to go right through. See? That is how you probably use a red shell to actually mess up your opponent. And that one actually hit the ground. We send those her way. Oh, man, she tried to go for it, but I think she was also avoiding the shells, so it worked out good. Now, if I remember correctly, the star makes you immune to getting hit by items, so that does have its uses in that regard. All right, I'm going to try to get her as soon as I get that return, which I did not get. Oh, yeah, you're way over there now, Daisy. Yeah, that's not going to work out for you. All right, do another one. So right as she sends it, I'm going to send those back her way. I did not hit her with them, unfortunately. There we go. And that was probably a waste of a green shell, but whatever. Okay. Now back it goes. She has the star. Oh, what? I didn't even get to the net. So that's the problem with the topsy-turvy court, is it can honestly like change the position of things on the court, and it really messes you up if you're not prepared for it. Like that. Again. There, it just happened again. I'm blowing it now. Come on. Let's get it together. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh, dude. I can't get the ball far enough in time because everything is tilted my way. Oh, this is really throwing me off. Jeez. Oh, man, I'm blowing it. Look at this. I was up 40-0, and now I'm suddenly just losing my cool here. Oh, I got her. Yes! It bounced away. That was awesome. What a shot. Okay, there we go. Don't get me with that, please. Come on, get her. Yeah! Awesome. Okay, now let's see if I can finally win this. I'm really focusing right now. Okay, there's a good one. Got another star as well. Back towards her. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I got her back. I got her back. Yes! Holy crap, that red shell came in clutch right at the end. I have no idea what the lightning does. It doesn't even seem to have an effect, but whatever. I will take it. It just makes it look like you're covered in soot. But anyway, all right. That pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about for this game. Like I said, there are unlockables. You go into the ring tournament menu. This is just doubles as code entry. You can unlock a lot of courts this way. There are actually several different kinds that you can get by doing that, which is pretty cool. You can also unlock the different sorts of ring and game modes. That's cool. If you ever want to play a super short game, you also have this option, just 5 points, which these are the tiebreaker rules, basically. And then 7 points is the standard tiebreaker rules, just to a few more points. So, yeah, both are pretty darn short. And then, of course, you know, you can play all the way up to 4 players for doubles and stuff like that, because the Nintendo 64 was cool like that, and actually having 4 controller ports. Man, I miss those days. But that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about. Mario Tennis, everybody. It's a very simple game. Someday, I think we'll look at the other Mario Tennis games, although I can't give them the same treatment as I did this one because they don't hold this nearly the same nostalgic factor that I have with this game because, yeah, it was very special to me. It was one of my very firsts, and I love it for that reason and that reason alone, even if it is terrible Let's Play material, which is why I'm just covering it in this one video here. So thank you all so very much for watching, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.